before we even get started with what's been going on in nursing school and everything, I do want to introduce one new member of the family, and we got a new dog. I don't know if you can see her on the bed, but her name is Judah, and she's just gonna kind of lay there. Our two other dogs have been really good with her lately, but she's still a little bit younger than them, so she'll play till like she passes out. But if she's outside with them, she doesn't pass out because she's afraid that they're gonna like gang up on her and stuff. So she's just gonna chill here for a little bit. So my last update basically was the first 4 weeks of LVN school, and a lot has happened since then. So basically, I think I filmed that the morning of one of our tests. So went and took that test. So test number 2 was over. I don't remember what it was over at this point. Oh, they had an 83, so I passed. So I didn't have to go to remediation because it was above an 80. So I didn't have to go to remediation for that one. And that week, I don't know if I also talked about it, but we did go to our clinical site. So that was pretty cool. But basically, 2 people to a patient, head-to-toe assessment sort of stuff. So that was cool, and learning how to do like head-to-toe paperwork and a lot of other like paperwork that comes with a patient, and going to see their like their face sheet of their medical records. I'm trying to think of it and it's not coming to my head. It'll come back. So basically head-to-toe assessment and just dealing with our patient for a few hours. We weren't there for very long. My patient that I did have was in physical therapy when we got there, because where we go, there is a PT on site. So it's just like adjacent off of the nursing home. So we got to go there and watch them do physical therapy, which was pretty cool. I mean, I've been to physical therapy myself, like a few different kinds, like, you know, just like massage or like all that kinetic stuff, or just like regular physical therapy, like getting on a treadmill. So that was pretty cool to go watch. They did have like a few other patients in there while they were doing it, and everybody at that facility so far has been so super nice, especially the nurses and the DON. Any questions we have, if we're like wandering the halls not knowing what to do, they're like, hey, come with me. So that has been really nice. Week 5, we had our first simulation, which is basically sim lab, and it's basically a dummy that is super expensive, that basically does everything a human does: coughs, breathes, has pulses. So basically we had our first scenario of that, and it was kind of a little bit terrifying, which I don't know why it was terrifying, because, you know, I don't know. It just was not what I expected it to be, but then in the same thing, it was what I expected it to be. So I just gotta remember that it's not a human, but is a human. So, but basically week 6, because I remember some of it. Basically 2 more tests. We had a test on Monday, and we had a test on Thursday. Yeah, I think we still have Friday off because we had the fair came to town, and basically we had 2 booths. We had a booth set up at the fair to do blood pressures, and then we also got asked from one of the hospice thrift stores in town if some of us would go out and help out. They did like a chicken soup kind of cook-off thing, and this is my schedule. So so we went and helped out with that, and that just added us clinical hours. So basically that was all we did. I did pass both of those, one with a 91 and the other one with an 80. The 91 I know was GI, and I'm pretty sure the other one was GI also. This was also the week that we had our medication administer 1 checkoffs, which was basically just pills. So we had to learn, I think, 10 pills and basically recite them to our teacher on what they were, what they did, know the generic name and the brand name, and that was quite terrifying. For me, it wasn't learning them, but it was more terrifying to know that, well, one, the drugs that we were giving all counteracted each other, and this person, because we had like a fake order written up and stuff like that, and it was terrifying to know, because like they really instill, like, you know, you can kill giving drugs, which you can. So, you know, they were kind of a little bit hard on us, you know, knowing that most medication errors happen is, you know, not looking at the pill or it being filled wrong or just wrong dosages. So they're really, you know, prepping us for the real world. So that was more my terrifying, like right before we had to do skills check off, was like, oh my god, like, given I can't kill the dummy but I can kill a human. So that was a little bit more of my terrifying point, but we had to go alphabetical order because everybody was kind of freaking out and nobody, like, you know, jumped up and was like, hey, let me go ahead and go first. So we had to do it that way. So then week 7 came along. We had a few more exams. We had one on Monday, and then we started to go on Friday because Wednesdays are our clinical days. So basically still doing head to toe at clinical. We had 2 more exams. I passed them both, I believe, with like 80s. Can't tell you what they were about or what they were over. Not 100% sure at this point. Basically did that. I know that Thursday, was it Thursday? Yeah, it was Thursday. We had basically just morning class, and it was all over giving just general shots, like tuberculosis shots, like TB test shots, normal shots, and like IM shots. So we went all over that. And then week 8 rolled around. This is where we started respiratory. Basically still doing the same things like clinicals, but shortening our time with the patient. So basically before we were getting like a good two hours to do a head-to-toe assessment. Now we're kind of having to focus down our assessment without knowing what the diagnosis for the patient is, what they were admitted for. So basically trying to figure it out ourselves by, you know, a 30-minute interview. Which, given, is quite hard because I know that I'm missing important steps, and once I start to go through my paperwork, I'm like, oh, I forgot this or I forgot that. And basically we have started to go to school on Fridays, which I really don't mind because it's just in the morning, because Patrick still works and kind of everybody else in my family is working on a Friday, so I really don't get to go like see anybody. But it is still football season, it is still band season, and my cousin is in the band, so I do like to go, you know, to her pep rallies and then go to the game at nighttime. So it has been quite nice. Fridays are kind of, after school's over, is my like, let me not think about class at all sort of day. So, and that's really nice. And Saturdays, Patrick is still working Saturdays, so he's gone for like most of the morning parts. So that's usually when I get like a lot of my studying and stuff done. And then when he comes home, we kind of just chill out for a little bit, but then he'll want to go play games with his friends and stuff like that, so I'll just come back in here and do stuff. And then Sundays are really when I get to go see my family and stuff like that, which is hard to do because my family is very, love you guys, I'm pretty sure you're watching this. You know, I love to be with my family and I love to go and be with my family, but I have to sit here and think a lot, like, I really want to go hang out with them or I want to go do something, and I'm like, you know, I can't. Especially during the week, it is so hard because I want to go see them and a lot of stuff is going on and can't really go do that. But anything else that has been going on? Oh, this past Friday, our last test was over respiratory. I think it was our foundations of it, or fundamentals. I keep calling foundations, but basically it is foundations of nursing. Same thing. So basically the whole class, as a test average, we got a 70. Yeah, a 70. Usually we're in like the 80s, 90s for our test averages. So I scored a 60 on the test. So I failed. So basically, and I don't know anybody who actually 110% passed. I know people who like passed with a 75, but you still have to go to remediation. So basically she went over the test with us after it was done, and the way she had the questions worded, like, I was like the last one to leave the class, and I had to reread almost every question. Like, usually I go through, read the question, read the answers, go. But I had starred at least 20 of the 50 questions. And that was basically because all of the answers to me were right, and a lot of the other people, when I went out of the class, because we all kind of sit outside and kind of talk about the questions that we remember. So basically everybody else felt the same way. So she basically went over it, and it wasn't my teacher's fault or anything like that, because some of them were stupid mistakes on my side, because she went through like all the problems. But a lot of it was her wording of the question was getting us to answer the wrong question, like answer the wrong one. So I really don't know what she's going to do. We basically had to email her, and she said that she's going to be thinking about it over the weekend to see what we can do about it. Because we do have, like, in foundations and in med-surg, we have like 9 tests, and we're at test 5 in each. So, and we're halfway there, starting on Monday. So we're halfway through this semester. So I don't exactly know what's going to happen. I'll take the 60. It didn't really hurt my test grade average, because I've been getting, high B's, low A's. So I really don't know what is going to happen, but to me, it just kind of sucked. But basically I'm going to end this video here because it is super long. So I apologize for that, but go ahead and leave any of your questions, comments, anything else in the down bar below, in the little comment section. Go ahead, and while you're down there, go ahead and subscribe so you can see the new videos that are coming out, and follow my journey through nursing school, because it's been one hell of a ride. Literally, I feel like my hair, like when I brush my hair, like a small cat comes out, because my stress level has been through the roof, and pimples, zits, everything else like that, on top of we are all menstruating at the same time, all of the females in my class. So, and we do have like 2 or 3 guys in my class, so I feel so bad for them. Actually, I think there's like 5 of them. Yeah, maybe 5. So they have a hard time with all of us at this point in time. So it's just a lot. Nursing school is always a lot, but it has been so enjoyable, and I know in the long run it'll be all worth it. But in the now present moment, sometimes it doesn't seem like it. So, but yeah. So I will see all of you guys in my next video, and thanks so much for watching.
Back, demon.